All right, okay, so we are live. I took the weekend off. I took the weekend off. My eyes are bothering me. Yeah, I took the weekend off just because, man, I was really tired. But if you're just catching this on the after the fact, not on the after, but after the fact, that last live was great. The last live I had was one of those lives where it was my biggest live outside of a pay per view being tied to it. Thank you for Cesar Seda to just drop me and say hello to the chat room. And Vic Season stopped in with his To Mafia. He stopped in. So it was great to see him on the chat. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today. Again, if you're catching this after the live, today, I'm going to probably do a little bit more English than Spanish. Todavía voy a tener un poco de español por ahí, por allá, pero específicamente yo creo que hoy va a ser un poco más inglés porque me puedo expresar un poco mejor y como te digo, las ideas mías salen más rápida y con, no sé, con más autoridad, se puede decir, no sé cómo decirlo así, pero ya tú sabes, ahí tienes un ejemplo por qué lo voy a hacer más en inglés. So, I'm going to do it in English a little more today because I think it's important. I think it's very important that we talk about Matias and what Algieri and what Tim Bradley uh, were saying. And I think that's very important. I think it's very important. I think it's gotten past the point of commentary. I think what Algieri did and said, and what Timothy Bradley did and said about Matias needs to be. I think it's even more important than the WBC at this juncture. The WBC will definitely help, and I think by tomorrow, I think the WBC should come up with something at this rate. But what Algieri said and what Timothy Bradley said were so out of pocket and uninformed that I really think that Subriel Matias' team after the fight, after the fight on January 10th, I think right now they should concentrate on the fight. But after the fight, I think they should take legal action of some sort. Because it's defamation to the biggest degree. So they definitely Matias' team should seek for some sort of court. Algo tiene que pasar ahí con la corte contra Algieri because what he said was so crazy. Again, if you're catching this after the fact that they're live, listen. Thank you for tuning this video, and if you're new here, thank you for stopping in. Please hit the like when you're here. Hit the subscribe button if you would like. I would like you to. But again, real quick, housekeeping rules in effect. Mira, la pelea contra Teofimo López y Shakur Stevenson se ha filmado, está ready, va a ser enero 31. Eso quiere decir que ya esto estaba en hecho hace tiempo, nada más estaban como empatando, parece unas cuantas cosas. So, that fight, Shakur Stevenson, I did not expect that announcement, to be honest with you, for January 31st. That means that they've been known. They were just kind of like, tying in some loose ends. I can't believe that fight is happening. To be honest with you, yo no creo que esa puedo creer. What's up, Frontline? Oh, shit, you here front and center early. And we're going to continue, William. We're going to continue hitting up Chris Algieri because this is not something that he should be taken lightly. But we're going to get to that right now. But primero, Teofimo, I can't believe it. Teofimo versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is half body, so we're going to have to support. Tenemos que apoyar a Shakur porque el papá de él es boricua y él reconoce eso. No, he doesn't speak Spanish. He was born and raised in New Jersey. You still have to support the kid because he does rep the Puerto Ricans as much as he can and knows how to. I don't blame him for not knowing how to rep Puerto Rico or being Boricua as if he wasn't raised around that. But we got to show him love because he represents us too. In the tri-state area, New York, we gotta show up. Even though it's Jersey, we kind of got beat sometimes with Jersey. We got to show up for Jersey. Frontline. You told no lies. I think that it's not gonna be easy, but Shakur, you're right. I think that's exactly how he beats Teofimo Lopez. I think he beats him by frustration. Yo creo que lo frustra hasta que Teofimo se tira del ring. Yeah, he's gonna frustrate the hell out of him. He's gonna counter him. He's gonna do that backup. You know, when he backs up, and he's gonna do all that. He's gonna make him feel real awkward. But I think Teofimo Lopez la va a hacer una pelea. I think he's gonna make it a fight for him. I think he's gonna push the action. I think he's gonna try to push the action because it's gonna be Shakur's gonna be very defensive minded the whole fight. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, Teofimo va a empujar la pelea y cuando la empuje, pues ahí es que le va a darle counter. Shakur. I think Shakur's gonna catch him on counters. Él le va a quitar la distancia a Shakur. He's gonna take away the distance. It's gonna be it's gonna be a fun fight. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. Pero yeah, Frontline is right. He's gonna frustrate the shit out of him. But also, Manny Pacquiao's son fought this Saturday. I did not watch it because it was too late. It was too late. It was a draw. I didn't see the fight. People said that the white kid actually beat him. I could care less whether it was a draw or not a draw. I think a draw is fair for both guys because they both made the pro debut. I think people are making too much out of that. I saw Filósofos video cuando él dijo que the fruit doesn't fall. In this case, it falls really far from the tree. Like Manny Pacquiao Jr. doesn't have it in him. Now, remember, Manny Pacquiao has another son who's undefeated. Él tiene otro hijo que está invicto. Tiene como 8 peleas ya. So, what's up, Jose? We're getting it started, bro. Getting it started. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. I'm just going to get the formalities out the way. I was talking about the Teofimo Lopez and Shakur. But now I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao Jr. And people are making a big deal that he didn't win the fight or didn't look like his father. Listen, the guy had 12 amateur fights. He started very, very late. At least he tried to get his feet wet in the amateurs before he tried anything pro. Do you guys remember how Canelo looked early in his career? Or Chavez Jr. when he was still a good prospect, right? He was slow as molasses. ¿Sabes? So, ninguno de Canelo no se veía muy bien jovencito, tampoco Chavez Jr. jovencito, no se veían bien, especialmente porque no tenían los amateurs debajo de su correa, de su experiencia. So, I still have to give Manny Pacquiao Jr., I would give him 11. I would give him leniency because he has no amateur background. I would give Manny Pacquiao Jr. about 15 fights, and then I'll start to see where he's at. 15 fights, 12 to 15 fights. I think it's fair. At that point, we would know if he has some potential or none. So I'm not worried about it. A draw doesn't bother me. Is starting his career. We'll see later. Yo, William, Bradley is another joke, bro. Bradley's another joke. But listen, my usuals are here, and I don't care. We'll talk to you guys all day long, so anybody else can catch up. Pero vamos a empezar primero que nada. So I'm going to share, hold on. I'm going to share something with you guys right here. Hold on. Where is it? Is it this one? Let me see. I think it's this one. Yeah. And then here. Okay, we're going to show the one that started it all. This is the one that started it all, right? Now, I don't know who's not following Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. He does good work. He does good opinions, and I'm gonna use him in this live a lot, or at least twice. But we're gonna analyze a lot of what he's saying, and I want you to go subscribe to him. He's doing a lot of good things. He's putting out great things. So Coach Mario está haciendo cosas buenísimas en su canal. Yo lo descubrí like maybe a month ago or something like that. The guy's phenomenal work. For me, anyway. Tim Bradley's trying to protect Chris. Nah, man, we ain't gonna protect nothing. We're gonna get it right here. So anyway, aquí estamos. So let's listen to how Chris Algieri and here's we're gonna point out the problem of what Chris actually said. Can you guys hear that? I couldn't hear it. So this is Coach Mario. AI de my boy. Okay. Aquí estamos, miren.
Never sold on this guy. Everybody was like, "Oh, Subriel Matias." Completely off topic.
Aquí estamos, right now. So let's go right here.
completely off topic that we're not going to talk about that I want to just gloat a little bit about. Subriel Matias. I told you guys. I was never sold on this guy. Everybody was like, oh, he's the boogeyman, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that.
I didn't plan on.
So he's trying to say he was never sold on him, que nunca estaba vendido en Subriel Matias. Embuste, lies. You could hear him on Pro Box talking about that guy has a motor, tiene un motor, que he's a, this, that, he's this and that. He was really high on Matias. Okay? He was really high on Matias. That shit about that he wasn't high on Matias, that he was he don't know now. No, 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 no. I don't know why he's on this train. I don't know what friendships he might have that Matias ruined with the opportunity, with beating Puello. No sé quién él conoce, what happened. But that's a lie. He wholeheartedly was praising Matias before.
Not talking about it. We missed it last episode because we were so geared up for this fight card. Boxing has a PED problem. I tweeted it out. It's simple as that. Boxing has a PED problem, period. And Matias pops hot, and the guy has got an unbelievable motor and devastating power. How can this guy throw 90 punches and get tired? Ostarine.
He also killed a man.
So, ahí estamos. We're going to get right down to it. Okay. So, I don't know who the other guy is, the other loser guy on the other side, el otro tipo que no vale nada tampoco. Because now all of a sudden, and Coach Mario, man, he did a job. And I'm going to show that video, and I hope Coach is okay with it. I didn't ask him permission, but I'm sure it's not, it's actually praising him and using his content because he said it better than I ever could. So I'm going to play that clip for you that Coach broke down. But how can you say all of a sudden, there wasn't no question before? Yo nunca he escuchado a nadie decir cómo es posible que Subriel Matias tira tanto. Primero que nada, Subriel Matias no ha rompido, yo creo, que ningún récord con más puños tirados en una pelea. I never seen Subriel Matias break a record for the most punches thrown. I never seen that. That's number one. You know who has those? A lot of other fighters. And you know who I haven't heard them ask if they were on PEDs? These guys. I've never heard anybody question the guys who have thrown over 1,000. I've seen guys throw over 1,000 punches in a fight, and I've never heard them being accused. All of a sudden, because Matias pops for the lowest amount of Ostarine, and that was never my problem. My problem es con el equipo de Matias. Mi problema es con el equipo de Matias, pero vamos a tocar eso más tarde si hay tiempo. But at the end of the day, Matias never, ever tested positive for anything. And for now, all of a sudden, just because this little insignificant test tells you that he has some Ostarine in the system, all of a sudden, everything that came before is a problem. That is bull. Listen, don't give me that. Don't. Why are you going there? But let's keep listening because it gets better. And you guys know, but this is just for the content. So let's go.
In the ring. So let's not forget that. So yeah, let's not forget that.
Ostarine.
He also killed a man in the ring. So let's not forget that. So yeah,
How about that?
So fuck this guy. I straight up, fuck this guy. Like you literally killed a guy in the ring, and now you're using fucking PEDs. Get out of here. I mean,
crazy. Well, more of that will come.
So here's what you could say that Chris Algieri. This is what's going to be Chris Algieri's spin. Esto es lo que Chris Algieri va a decir que él trató de, como que dice, comunicar y se salió fuera de quicio. Right? This is what he's going to say. That, oh no, I didn't say that because of PEDs, he killed a man. No. He's going to try to say that because he killed the man before, because he's that powerful, that now because he's on PEDs, he's even more dangerous. That's what he's going to try to say. But we know what he really tried to say was, F that guy, because now we, like the guy before, he didn't tell his partner. He didn't say to his friend, hey, no, I think he was clean then. I think he's trying to get an advantage now. When his friend said, oh, that's why he can throw so many punches per round, that insinuates that the PEDs was before, and him bringing on the Dadashev, I hope I'm saying his name right, and not correcting his friend, you're connecting the two, and you're saying, oh, and on top of that, he killed a man. So you're insinuating that he killed them, you and your friend, because of past PED use. So bro, that's defamation. Eso, that is the epitome of defamation. You can't go around saying, you killed a man because of, this PED use. You can't say that. Like, who says that? Why would you say that? Right? It doesn't make any sense. But now the damage is being done. Ahora están hiriendo la carrera de Subriel Matias. ¿Cómo dice? The brand of Subriel Matias is being damaged. And I don't know if it's already been damaged, but let's take a look at his friend, Timothy Bradley. Let's look at what Tim said. And I'm going to tell you why this is a problem. And I'm going to show you why this is a problem. Right? I'm going to show you what is a problem. This is what Timothy Bradley said. This idiot right here. Sorry, Tim. I respect you as a fighter. I don't have anything against you, but you're wrong here, and I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
Tim Desstone, Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Look. I'm just letting y'all know right now. You want to be here on this channel? You know what I'm saying? You want to look at the videos? You want to support your boy? That's cool. If you don't, hey, peace. Man, this is a channel that, hey, we attack your hearts. Yeah, we make you think. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I might say some stuff on this channel that you don't agree with. You know what I mean?
Right now.
It is what it is. But damn it, when we talking about performance enhancement drugs, man, ain't no damn excuse. You as a professional athlete, as a professional fighter, you got to take great products. You got to take quality of products, right? And if it don't have that NSF label on that damn stuff, don't take it. Yeah.
Okay. Right there, I agree with Timothy. I don't have a problem up to this point with Timothy Bradley. I don't have any problems. I'm saying that too. I'm saying the same thing he's saying right up to this point. Hasta aquí, yo estoy diciendo lo mismo que Bradley está diciendo. Yo tengo un problema, ¿sabes? Con el equipo de Subriel, que no lo cuidaron. Ustedes maybe opinan diferente. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. But for me, I think that Subriel Matias' team let him down. He might not think so, and you guys might not think so, and that's okay. That's how I feel. Because of that, they should be very careful with what they are giving him. And it should be looked at, scrutinized, pick best of the best. You cannot risk the best fighter, your most popular fighter, your most successful fighter to anything to happen. You got to do that. And they didn't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, go ahead and research it. Yeah, it's a third-party entity that tests these products and makes sure what's in the product is actually what's in the product, and making sure that athletes are taking safe products. Yeah, and he has to have that label on it. If it don't have that label, don't take it. Then you don't get no contaminated substance. Oh, Tim, it's contamination, all this bad. You don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So, because what makes me think that you're not cheating if it's in your damn system? Okay? Well, we got to take your word on it? Huh? Psst, come on. Nah, it's your responsibility as an athlete, man. You're making millions and millions of dollars. Make sure you're taking quality, right? Products, my boy. Anyways, that's my time.
So this video, I really didn't have a problem. With this video, I really didn't have a problem with Tim. I didn't have a problem. What did he take off his hold on. Did he take off his live? I mean his other one? Hold on. I think he took off the other video. I think he took off the other video. Hold on. Yep, I think he took off he had two videos. he took off the other video. I don't see it now. Oh, so he went back on it. So Tim here had a different video that is not there anymore. That what he said was to the effect of, because I commented on it. He said, "Oh, you know what? Let me look before I say," because he had another video. 110%. He had another video. Hold on, and I don't know. It's here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I think he took it off. I don't think he has it anymore, because basically in the other video he was saying that the percentages of Ostarine. He had a percentage of Ostarine. He had all the stuff that he was taking. He was microdosing, and that's what you caught. First of all, Just like a coach Mario said in his video, you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, it's not even measured in percentages. It's by picograms. The people speaking, like Algieri, like Bradley, don't even understand how things are measured, what they do, and how they're taken, and what the use cases are for. But they're commenting. That's the problem when you have fighters who are not educated in researching, who are not educated in the subject matter other than fighting. They don't know about, chemist and scientific data and how to research a subject before they open their mouth, and they say the stupidest things. And that's what they're doing here. But Algieri said the worst of it. Algieri had the worst of it. But now let's go. I'm going to show you one of the best videos that I've seen. And this really is what, I think it's this one. Hold on. Is it this one? No, this is the F that guy. Oh, shit. Hold on. Did I miss it? No, let's go right here. Let's go with his channel. I don't have to go look for it like with another thing. It's right here. It's right here. Right here. See this right here? We're going to play this video. It's a great video, man. Este video aquí, I don't have to say anything. I hope Coach is okay with me playing it again. Este video aquí explica todo. Todo. Él hizo un gran trabajo explicando esto. He made it. This video right here is so good. It's so good. And this video explains the problem with what's going on and the people who think they know how to do things and say things and talk about subjects they have no business talking about. Here we go. He said it so well.
Inside the ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Mondays. Today, we're going to be talking about science, facts, and truth. Not rumors, not outrage, and not emotional outbursts. This video is going to be in English because it addresses individuals who unfortunately have been talking irresponsibly against Subriel Matias. I'm referring to Chris Algieri, Timothy Bradley, and others calling Subriel Matias a cheater without understanding anything about the testing process.
Exacto.
Let's start with respect.
Oh, man.
I respect every fighter who steps into a boxing ring. I respect champions, prospects, journeymen, and former champions.
Guys, I'm pausing it. If you haven't subscribed to Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario, please go and give him some love. Show him some love. Tell him how you got here. Tell him that I sent you to his page just because I want some love too. But because I think that he has a great channel and he has the finger on the pulse. And on this one, and miss. En este él no falla. Él no falla en este.
And I respect honest, educated criticism. But let me remind everyone of something important that somehow gets ignored. Subriel Matias has never tested positive in more than 10 years as a professional fighter. Dozens of VADA tests, commission tests, random tests, title fight protocols, zero violations, zero suspensions, zero PED history, a clean athlete with a long record of clean testing.
No lies.
Now, let me tell you something, and let me say this clearly. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a doping expert. But I did the one thing that Bradley and Algieri and others failed to do.
Preach.
I did the research, my friends. I read the science. I studied how VADA testing works. I looked at pharmacokinetics, thresholds, and contamination cases. Something everyone should do before accusing a man of cheating, or worse, implying he might have taken someone's life.
Exactly.
Here's what happens in simple terms.
Aquí va.
Matias tested clean days before traveling to New York. Days later, VADA tested him again in New York. That test showed 0.085 nanograms of Ostarine.
Correct.
Not 8.5, not 1.5,
nope.
Not even 0.5. 0.085, a microscopic trace amount.
Exacto.
Now let's understand what that means. For context, performance-enhancing Ostarine levels, the ones that give muscle gain or strength, show up between 5 and 50 nanograms,
Bingo.
sometimes higher. Matias tested at 0.085 nanograms, 85 picograms. That's a level so minuscule that the New York Athletic Commission has a clear rule. Anything below 1.0 is considered contamination, not intentional doping.
Let's go.
Matias was 10 times below that threshold.
Let's go.
You cannot cheat with 0.085.
Exactly.
You cannot gain performance. You cannot get stronger, faster, or more explosive. It is scientifically impossible.
Thank you.
So now let's examine the only two possibilities. Intentional doping, number one. Number two, accidental contamination. If Subriel had intentionally used Ostarine, here's what would have happened.
Vamos para allá.
He would have tested positive in both tests. Levels would be much higher.
Exactly.
The substance would stay in the system for weeks. The metabolite profile would show consistent dosing. The numbers wouldn't be below the contamination threshold.
Todo lo que dijo Memo. Todo lo que ha dicho Memo. Everything that Memo said, this guy is saying it again, but you could tell that Coach did his research outside of Memo. Listen, this is how you do it. If you're going to talk about a subject that you don't have no knowledge of, before you make an educated video, right, or opinion piece video, this is how you do it. Let's keep going.
None of that happened. But contamination cases, they look exactly like this. Clean test, travel, new environment, new hotel products, tiny one-time spike, below threshold, no performance benefit, no repeated positives. This matches 100% of contamination patterns documented by VADA, USADA, WADA, and dozens of cases in the UFC and the Olympics.
Exactly.
Now let's address the critics. Chris Algieri goes on a podcast yelling, fuck that guy, about a fighter he has never even met. And then he implies that Dadashev tragedy makes sense because of a contamination level trace. Chris, that is not a commentary. That is malice. And legally, that is defamation territory.
Thank you.
Timothy Bradley, you're a disciplined fighter, a clean athlete, and someone I've admired. Well, what you said here was not based on science, facts, or knowledge. It was based purely on emotion and misunderstanding. And both of you ignored a simple truth. Subriel Matias has never failed a drug test in his entire career.
Nope.
And the numbers here prove contamination, not cheating. So the facts are overwhelming, my friends.
Exactly.
Here is a complete picture based on evidence, not emotion. A decade-long clean career, a clean test before traveling, trace level test after traveling, 0.85 nanograms below the doping threshold, no performance benefit, no metabolite pattern indicating use, matches contamination cases worldwide. No doping expert, no commission, no scientist would call this intentional doping. Let me just say this. I'm not an expert, but I did the research. Exactly. And I can understand this with honest effort. There is no excuse for former fighters and professional analysts to accuse a man of cheating or suggest he may have contributed to a death with absolutely zero scientific basis.
Thank you.
That is irresponsible, that is unfair, and that is wrong. Subriel Matias, bottom line, my friends, is not a cheater. The science proves it. The timeline proves it. His entire career proves it.
This has nothing to do with being.
And now let me address another completely narrative being pushed by critics. The comparison between Subriel Matias' test results and Ryan Garcia's test results. Some people, including Algieri, Bradley, and others, are responsibly saying, well, Ryan popped, so Matias popped. No, absolutely not. These cases are not even in the same universe.
They're not.
Let's compare the actual numbers. Ryan Garcia, Ostarine level was 6.0 nanograms. Yep. Subriel Matias, Ostarine level, 0.085 nanograms.
Here we
go. Now let's compare them mathematically. 6.0 nanograms versus 0.085 nanograms.
Divide that.
divide 6.0 between 0.085 equals 70.5. That means Ryan Garcia had more than 70 times the amount of Ostarine that Subriel Matias had.
70.
Let me repeat that again so nobody misses it. Ryan's results was over 70 times higher. These are not comparable numbers, my friends. Not even close. Not in the same category scientifically. What do these numbers mean scientifically? All right, let's look at that. 6.0 for Ryan Garcia falls within performance enhancing ranges.
Yes.
Indicates intentional ingestion. Matches dosing patterns seen in doping cases. Led to a suspension and a fight being overturned.
Yep.
Subriel Matias,
There we go.
0.085.
Exactly.
A trace amount below the 1 nanogram contamination threshold set by New York State Athletic Commission. Too low to provide any performance benefit.
Exactly.
Matches contamination, not usage. Allowed to fight because there is no doping violation. Why was Ryan Garcia punished but cleared Matias? It's simple. Ryan Garcia, 6.0 nanograms, multiple positives, high levels, metabolites, patterns consistent with intentional use. He was suspended. Subriel Matias, 0.085 nanograms, one isolated trace, below threshold, no metabolic pattern, no benefit, not a violation, Chris. Not a violation, Timothy Bradley. He was cleared to fight. Do the research, guys, before you open your mouth. You guys are professionals. You guys are boxers. You shouldn't be spreading hate.
No.
All right? When you look at the math, the science, the levels, and the detection patterns, Ryan's case was equally significant to doping. Matias' case is equally significant to contamination.
Yep.
Anyone arguing otherwise is either uninformed or pushing an agenda.
Exacto. And we're going to stop it right there. Bro, I couldn't have said it any better than Coach. I could not have said it any better than Coach. That's why I just let that video play. I hope he's okay with it again. I hope he didn't hit me with a copyright strike. But there was no reason for me to come here and tell you my version when his version is exactly perfect. La versión del Coach is perfect. And those of you who maybe, came in late or whatever and didn't catch it, or if you're catching this on the live, please, go back and just listen to that, or go to his channel, show him love, give him a thumbs up, share his video more than mine because his is better. The only thing I would correct on Coach's video is that Ryan was not suspended by the Athletic Commission for testing for Ostarine. Actually, he was suspended for not disclosing the supplement that eventually had the Ostarine. Because when they say, give us a sample of what you're saying was contaminated, it was not on the disclosed list. And they said you illegally took a supplement that you didn't tell us you were taking. And that's what led to his suspension. That's what ultimately, but it doesn't matter because even if they would have disclosed it, even if he would have disclosed it and it would have had the Ostarine, the 70 times above the normal level would have gotten him suspended the same way, and it would have gotten him, a ban for a year. It would have still been the same, situation. And plus, the 0.085 levels is 11 times under the New York State Athletic Commission. So not only was Ryan 70 times higher, but Subriel is 11 times lower. So Subriel tiene 11 veces menos que lo que ellos dejan pasar. Y Ryan tenía 70 sobre el límite de ellos. So at the end of the day, like I said, bro, Coach just said it all. There was nothing for me to add to that except that. Oh, and the $1 million fine wasn't a fine at all. That was actually a fee he had to return to Golden Boy, and that's why the Haneys were trying to get also restitution, but they didn't pay Ryan. It was an advance, I believe, that went for the event that was owed to Golden Boy because you get paid after the fight. So there was things that he had to give back, not just that $1 million. So it was a little more than that. But when it was all said and done, But in the end, Timothy Bradley, in another video, which I cannot find now for some reason, I don't know where it is on his channel because it was there. He clearly, he was wearing the same thing too as the one I showed you. He clearly doesn't understand. And I think because of legal reasons, he had to take it down. I think Tim took it down for legal reasons because I don't understand why he would take it down. Because for legal reasons, Tim, I believe he had to take it down because he did accuse him. He was dead set on accusing him for those things. Now, the things that Algieri said were not on Algieri's channel. It was some other channel of some sort, some other program, some pay-per-view, whatever the hell it was. So I don't know if they've taken it down since because I can't find it. I've searched. I've seen the clips that people like Coach just played in the video prior to this, but I can't find it. So I think even that channel may have taken that clip down. They may have taken it down because at the end of the day, you have Algieri and that idiot in that on that show. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say idiot because I don't know the guy, but it wasn't too bright. No, it didn't seem too smart for me. What he said when he said that the reason that you have Matias throwing as many punches as he's thrown is because of Ostarine. Even though Coach just showed us, Coach lo enseñó ahora mismo, que nunca en la carrera de Matías, con todas las pruebas que ha tenido, cuando era campeón, antes que era campeón, en campamento, fuera de campamento, en los 10 años, nunca tuvo una prueba adversa. Nunca. Un examen adverso. Nunca. He never tested positive prior. And the test before the one that he tested with traces, that was clean. So it does indicate that at some point in his training camp, he added the other supplements because athletes don't take all the supplements at the same time. As the training goes on, you add a different supplement, to do different things. And these are supplements that he told the New York State Athletic Commission about. Because if Subriel would have never told them about this particular supplement that was contaminated, guess what would have happened? The New York State Athletic Commission would have said to Subriel, hey, the package you sent us, you didn't tell us you were taking. So they knew the package that he was taking. They knew the supplement that he was talking about because he put it on the list. So there was nothing to hide from Subriel. Subriel never hid the fact that he was taking said supplement. Ahora, donde yo tengo un problema, where I have a problem, is that what Tim said, what Tim Bradley said, you have to be better at taking better supplements. Tiene que ser mejor que lo que hicieron. El trabajo del equipo de Subriel tiene que trabajar más duro. El equipo de Subriel tiene que asegurar que lo que él está tomando está limpio. Los entrenadores, the nutritionists, those guys are responsible for Subriel. Subriel pays them. So he doesn't have to worry about what he's taking. The food plan, la preparación de la comida, todo eso, Subriel le paga a alguien para que no esté preocupado con lo que está pasando en esos casos. Para que él se concentre en levantarse, correr, hacer lo que Panda le está diciendo en el campamento. So he's training for his fight. That's what he pays these guys for. And for the fact that people were taking and giving him supplements that were not NSF rated, that weren't third-party tested, to ensure that what they said was on the label, is in the label. And if something like this would have happened, guess what? If Subriel would have taken one of those supplements that said NSF and he still had Ostarine and he sends that out, and then it comes back that it was contaminated and they test another batch and it comes back that had Ostarine, not only does Subriel have a case, but he has a lawsuit potentially because it put his living at risk because he actually picked that product because it had an actual certification on it. You see what I'm saying? So The fact that the team didn't take care of Subriel, I have a problem with that. I have a real big problem with that. And I think they learned from this. I hope that it didn't cost them any money. I'm hoping that it didn't take away from Subriel too much. I hope that after Subriel, I think he's gonna beat Dalton easy. I hope that they say, oh well, how much the Ostarine had to do. I want to hear what Algieri has to say. I would push for a retraction. If I was Subriel Matias' team right now, today, I will send a lawyer's letter saying I want a retraction on YouTube publicly on ProBox that you're sorry for what you said for trying to damage our actual brand without any scientific backing to what you're saying. Especially when all the investigation and it's not even done. So the WBC didn't say they were done, right? The New York State Athletic Commission said, "Hey, he's good for us." So that one's done. They're doing other testing on Subriel. You haven't even waited till those tests come back, and you're already proclaiming the man to be a killer in the ring and that he's a prolific cheater. I were Subriel's team. I want an apology from that guy next to Algieri. I want also a public apology from Algieri. If not, I'm taking him to court for damages. I'm taking Bradley Algieri son unos huele. Joel, cálmate, Joel, cálmate. But that's what I would do. I would want, to be honest, I definitely would want a public apology. Yo quiero en ese caso. Miguel, I want him to line up. And if anybody here, and listen, it's already been proven that sometimes people on my channel come by that know people that or are people in these circles. If anybody has the ear to Subriel Matias' team, I would implore them. Yo sé que ellos son una gente que parecen para mí honrada y calladitas, ¿sabes? Que no quieren mucha bulla, no quieren mucho problema y eso y lo otro, no quieren estar así. Pero yo le diría, mira, después de la pelea en enero, si tú no oís, si Jerry hasn't apologized after January 10th or in between, after the fight, so you don't have to worry about it, get a lawyer, line them up, and knock them down. Get more money. Get more money. Because you know what? ProBox, he works for ProBox. I'm sure ProBox has integrity, right? I'm hoping that the owner of ProBox has integrity. I don't see any reason why ProBox does not have integrity. I think I like ProBox. I like Paulie. I didn't mind Algieri. I think they have a good product. And I think it's up to ProBox in this instance to tell Algieri, bro, you're going on another program that's not ProBox. You represent us. Cuando tú trabajas para una compañía, tú representas a esa compañía donde quiera que tú vayas con tus acciones en el público. So when you're an employee of a big corporation, even when you're off on vacation after work, the things you do reflect that company in public, but if you want to or not. That's why when, like, for instance, if you remember the movies, right, the Marvel, los Avengers, remember cuando el morenito lo botaron de ser Kang? When they took Kang, the actor from Kang, off because he had a court case? That had nothing to do with Marvel. That had nothing to do with Disney. But they don't want that look for their company. They don't want somebody working like that for their company if he's found guilty. And Algieri insinuating on another program that's not ProBox, that Matias maybe alleging maybe that the death of another fighter has something to do with him being dirty for a long time before this one, that's dirty work, and they should look into that. Matias team should look into that. I will contact ProBox. I will tell them he has sent a lawyer to send a letter to ProBox and to Algieri because he represents them, even though he wasn't speaking on their program. You don't want somebody like that on your program. You don't want somebody like that on your program. And I would push 110%, but somebody has to get with Subriel's team, maybe here, call to action and say, hey, after January 10th, after you handle business in New York, I think you should look into pressing Pro Box, pressing Algieri, and if they don't comply, take them to court. Take them to court. You can take Algieri, and you can't take Pro Box, but I will hit a Pro Box to put pressure on Algieri. Y si tú le dices a Pro Box, ponle presión a Algieri, porque él trabaja para ustedes y los representa a ustedes en el público y en el ojo del público, in the public eye, he represents you with his commentary, with his presence, with his celebrity. They'll put pressure. They'll put pressure. They'll call him into the office and say, bro, you need to say something. You need to recant, even if you believe it or not. I don't care if he believes it or not. I don't care if Algieri cares to believe it or not. This is a problem because you're taking food from a man who's worked hard for 10 years. He's overcome a lot. Él ha luchado mucho por esta oportunidad que tiene ahora. Y tú quitarle esto. You're going to take this away? No. To me, that doesn't fly. For me, you can't do that. You can't let that fly. If I were them, I'll go ahead and do that. I mean, that's that's pretty much for me what I would think I would do. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what their intentions are to do, but I think that's what needs to happen. Let me see what's going on here. That's what needs to happen. And I hope that somebody has their ear y que le digan a ellos, tú sabes, deben de hacer algo, porque en realidad no se puede tolerar estas clases de accusations. See, that's why I gotta say it in English. We can't tolerate. So maybe we go on Pro Box and we go there and we contact them somehow and say you need to recant these things. You need to hold a jury responsible because you can't just go on a program and say that, hey, this guy killed somebody in the ring and now now he tested positive. I wonder. Can't do that. You can't insinuate que él es responsable por la muerte de Dadashev. Es responsable. The other guy too. Put pressure on the other guy on that show. I don't know who's his boss. El broadcast del boxeo, ¿cómo estamos? Subriel Matias le va a pasar por encima a Dalton el 10 de enero. Sí, el broadcast, pero se quédate. Las cosas que dijo Algieri en ese programa no se deben de dejar. Después de enero 10, el equipo de Matías debe de cogerle un abogado y mandarle una carta a Pro Box y mandarle una carta a Algieri y decirle que tienen que ir públicamente, pedirle perdón y que estaban equivocados, porque eso no se hace. Eso no se hace. No. And Bradley took his video down. I'm telling you, Bradley took his video down because I can't find it. I cannot find Bradley's video. He took it down. It's the same. He's wearing the same thing. And it was on the same day. It was on the same thing on the same day, and I can't find it now. So he took it down. He had to take it down. Yeah, he took it down because I can't find the one that Bradley had two videos, and he was wearing the same thing that you see him wearing in that video that I just played you earlier in his live, and I don't see it anymore. And how I know? Because I commented on that other video. I commented, and it's no longer there. Watch Coach Mario from inside the ropes. Oh, another video over there 4 hours ago. I'm telling you, Coach Mario is on his game, man. Everybody who's here, please go visit Coach Mario's channel if you haven't done. If you're not familiar with Coach Mario, go show him love. Subscribe to his channel. Hit a thumbs up. Let him know that I sent you there. I think he's doing phenomenal work. And let me check it out. Hold on. If Coach Mario just did another video, listen, this is gonna be a Coach Mario centric. No. Oh no, I think that's the one that I played. That was 8 hours ago. Miguel, what's up, HL? That was the one I played on this channel already. It's 8 hours ago. I don't see a new one from 4 hours ago on his channel. But listen, somebody got to get to Matias's team and say after January 10th, you got to force Algieri for a public apology. Bradley took his video down. Algieri got to make an apology because it wasn't on the channel that he was on. So he's got to make a public apology, make Pro Box, put pressure on him. You can't get away with that shit. You can't say things like that. You can't just try to take a man's living away and try to insinuate that he might have killed somebody in the ring because of performance enhancing drugs. You can't say that the man's been dirty when he's never popped dirty before in 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. And for a guy to say, oh, now we know why he has a motor. Now we know why he throws so many punches per round and doesn't get tired. What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything except, you know what I hear? Take that guy with that color on his, you know what I'm saying, and take his opportunities away because we don't like that. We don't like that because if you notice, Dalton se parece mucho a ellos. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to go that way, but I've never seen this before. I've never seen somebody, you know, obviously have contamination in his supplement, and all of a sudden now we're saying that for 10 years he's been dirty. Because Subriel Matias has been the same guy for 10 years. He's never changed. So when did he start taking performance enhancing drugs? Show me the time. When did he start? ¿Cuándo empezó Matías usando estas cosas? Porque desde que yo sepa, él siempre ha sido igual, desde la primera pelea hasta ahora, con el mismo volumen, con el mismo estilo. So, ¿cuándo empezó? ¿Cuándo empezó? Maybe él cree que fue últimamente ese idiota. Maybe he thinks this has been, recently. But no, this has been the whole time. So why would you say that he's taking performance enhancing drugs for 10 years? That makes no sense whatsoever. No sense. What's this? I got another. Bradley's vet has a short and a still up called Go Cry Me a River. No, so the Go Cry Me a River, right. That's one. But in Go Cry Me a River, Miguel, he doesn't talk about percentages. It's another one. So I saw two. There was one where he's talking about percentages and that he's dirty and then it's the one. So the one that I showed right now where he says, contamination and about the supplements, that's the first one. Then there's a second one. He took down the second one. There was two. And he was wearing the same thing in both. He took down the other one. So there was the first one with the contamination that I played, and there's another one that I responded to where he says he had 1%. The percentages of the 1%. What? There was no 1%. He doesn't even understand how to measure it. Él ni entiende cómo medir la droga. So he doesn't even understand that. So he took that down. I can see it because I can't find it. It's literally just one video. He has two, and that one's down. So somebody, or maybe he realized, because Bradley's smart. Bradley realized maybe this is not good for pro box for me to say something like this. It's good. It's okay for me to, criticize the how his team messed up with not buying the proper supplements, but it's probably not a good idea for me, Timothy Desistorm Bradley, to come on here and say that a man is dirty and he'll always be dirty. And he made a lot of insinuations in that other video. And I was like, I had to respond to it. In the comments I did. And so, but he took it down. I don't find it in there at all. So there was two, but I don't find it. I was trying to get it early and I'm like, damn, where's this video? And I couldn't find it. But I really do think Matias needs to protect his name. He needs to protect his name. Tiene que proteger su nombre. Tiene que después de enero 10, cuando él gane esa pelea, si no ha escuchado como te digo, a public apology, que nadie le ha dicho nada, ¿sabe? En YouTube y lo que sea, his team needs to say, well, this is now we gotta do this because potentially you could have taken opportunities from me because you're saying you pinning a man's death on me. That's not right. Nobody should go through that. Nobody should have to go through that, and it's insane. No, he never answered me. He never answered me because I told him in the thing. I said, what did I say? I said to him, Tim. I said, Tim, you have to understand how it is even measured. If you don't understand how something is even measured, something to that effect, how can you possibly even comment on it as fact? And I didn't hear nothing back. I'm assuming that maybe other people were, getting at him in the same way. Because I'm looking through it and like I said, through my history. And so I see all my subscribers. He did that one. all my subscribers, hit me up here. The Dear Mr. Bill Haney, that was a while back. AJ will find a way to lose. My subscribers and the one that I just played for you guys. But there's another one because I remember in the other one, his teeth were yellow because of the sun. His teeth were crazy yellow. And I was like, bro, why is teeth that yellow? Shit. Anyway, and in this one, they look, not as bad. But that's another, like I remember what he said, and I couldn't find it in this video. I couldn't find it. So let me go back. Look. So let me go here. I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna pause it, and then I'm gonna share it, and then I'm gonna go here. So I'm gonna replace the screen, and I'm gonna go Cry Me a River. That's the one. So let's play this one again.
Look, I'm just letting y'all know right now. You want to be here on this channel? You know what I'm saying? You want to look at the videos and you want to support your boy? That's cool. If you don't, hey, peace. Man, this is a channel that, hey, we attack your hearts. Yeah, we make you think. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I might say some stuff on this channel that you don't agree with. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But damn it, when we talking about performance enhancement drugs, man, ain't no damn excuse. You as a professional athlete, as
I
a
agree.
professional fighter, you got to
This
take
video.
great products. You got to take quality of products, right? And if it don't have that NSF label on that damn stuff, don't take it.
That's true.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, go ahead and research it. Yeah, it's a third-party entity that tests these products and make sure what's in the product is actually what's in the product, and making sure that athletes are taking safe products. Yeah, and it has to have that label on it. If it don't have that label, don't take it. Then you don't get no contaminated substance. Oh, Tim, it's contamination, all this bad. You don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So, because what makes me think that you're not cheating if it's in your damn system? Okay? Well, we got to take your word on it? Huh? Psh, come on. Nah, it's your responsibility as an athlete, man. You're making millions and millions of dollars. Make sure you're taking quality, right? Products, my boy. Anyways, that's my time. Tim Desert Storm Bradley, and you already know the damn rest.
See, in this video, he doesn't talk about the percentages, how they're measured. That video is gone. Ese video lo quitó. So he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was saying. And I think he realized and he said, oops, that video can't be on my channel. I got to take that video down. And he did. And he did. And you know what? Good on Bradley. Good on Bradley. At least he had some integrity. At least Bradley said, you know what I mean? Straight right work. He has no time for that, bro. That's what his team is for. He got to stop blaming Matias for anything. No, exactly. I'm with you, Miguel. But his team dropped the ball. His team dropped the ball. They did not get him the best supplements they could get. They did not get him the cleanest supplements they could possibly get. And like I said, had they gotten supplements with the NSF label on it, like Tim said, because I've known about this for years, guess what? If it would have came back with Ostarine, even with the NSF label, and they would have proved that it was cross-contamination in that product, he would have had even bigger case. Because I'm trusting you. That's why I'm buying your product. You're claiming something. You got a third-party tester, and you still got me, to pop to a certain degree. Guess what? I'm taking you to court because you could have caused me millions. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he has to do. That's what he has to do. I mean, I came here to say all of that because, guys, we have to help, spread the word. You can't say, with Algieri, back to Algieri, you can't say a man, almost killed somebody killed somebody because, or insinuate, try to put the two together that the reason why Dadashev died is because, maybe Subriel Matias was doping then. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy, man. But listen, I came to say that last time I was on for 2 some odd hours. I'm trying to keep these like an hour, maybe max an hour and a half, so I can get on every day and have enough energy for the next day. Tomorrow is another day. Hopefully, we get an answer from the WBC tomorrow from Moro and WC Mauricio Suleiman. Hopefully, we get an official word from them what they're going to do with the WBC title. I fully expect them to follow New York State Athletic Commission. I fully, the worst I think is going to happen is they're going to say Subriel Matias, he's going to have to test for like the next 6 months after the fight. That's pretty much it because they already tested him again now and we haven't heard shit, right? So they tested him now and nothing has come back. So I think that he's all right. I think everything's fine. The fight will continue. There is a problem with the ticket sales though. And it is no surprise because through all this nonsense, I think the ticket sales is trying to slow down. I checked and, I will do a video the closer we get, like maybe in 2 weeks. I'll do another video about the ticket sales and see if they've improved. I haven't even seen this B sample come back yet. which is weird because the B sample is quick. So I think either they're not a priority with the B sample, or they just figure, listen, even if it comes back the same, it might come back with nothing, or the same. So I think that now you're good, Miguel. So I think, like I said, we haven't heard about the B sample. We haven't heard about the WBC. So for us to be jumping the gun and saying, as far as analysts go, and commentators like myself and Algieri and Bradley and all of the rest who are saying that he's dirty fighter, we haven't. The investigation hasn't even wrapped up yet, and everybody's foaming at the mouth to condemn the Trigueño of wrongdoing, being a cheater. That's wrong. Shouldn't be doing it. But again, like I said, I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. Somebody that knows Suleiman, please go ahead, call him, say something. Say, bro, release the shit already. Let us know what we're gonna do. But guys, tomorrow I'll probably be back on, if not the day after. I want to do a live on a prospect. That'd be nice if we could watch a fight here, and break it down and promote that guy, and then we could talk about whatever else after the fact. But anyway, guys, thank you for showing up and showing out. I'm having a lot of fun on these lives. Please hit the like button on your way out. Share the video. I'm gonna make shorts on these because I think it's important. So you look out for those. I'll put those up. Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow. All right, guys.